It's tricky. I want Crawford to win.
To knock out Crawford.
Canelo Alvarez is not an unbeatable fighter.
Who can do it, he can do it.
That's not easy for Crawford.
I know Canelo.
He was to make it a snoozer, it'd be Terence, right?
Canelo looked away first.
Crawford, so...
I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants.
I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game.
I love Crawford. Canelo's a bigger man. He ain't never been hit by it.
It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford.
Shocking indeed. Boxing legends are divided on Canelo versus Crawford. This isn't your typical fight night barbershop debate, it's the sport's biggest names weighing in. Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar de la Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, Evander Holyfield, Zab Judah, Ryan Garcia, and even Hollywood stars like Denzel Washington have all stepped up with their predictions.
Yes, sir. You're rest in the house, baby.
Incredible, boys. Thank you.
And the crazy thing is, they're nowhere near the same page. Some legends are convinced that Canelo Alvarez's size, power, and experience at the higher weights will be far too much for Terence Crawford to overcome. Others are equally certain that Crawford's elite skill set, adaptability, and fight IQ are about to stun the world. Then you've got veterans who refuse to pick a side at all, because truthfully, this fight is razor close. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because this one is going to be huge. And I've got to ask again, who do you think comes out on top? Drop your prediction down below, because after listening to these legends, you just might second guess your pick. Here's the kicker, this fight is only days away, and already several pros have switched their predictions in the final stretch. That's how unpredictable this matchup has become. Let's set the scene.
You know what? If anyone can do it, he can do it. You know, that takes me way back when I was fighting. I always believed I could win. I always believed I could win when I walk into that ring. The higher you go up, the harder it is because you don't want to carry too much weight. It's interesting. This is very interesting.
Can skills truly overcome size at the elite level? Sugar Ray Leonard broke it down better than anyone. In an interview with ES News, he gave a deceptively simple take: whoever wants it more will win. But he quickly added a warning. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Leonard reflected on moving up in weight to face Donnie Leon. He admitted every punch hurt in a way he had never felt before. He wasn't knocked out, but the difference was clear, and that's the exact danger Crawford now faces.
Doesn't prevent him from moving or slipping punches and just stay on the outside. Fight his fight.
And he's not the only legend cautioning Bud that no matter how sharp your skills are, weight classes exist for a reason. When you look at the sheer numbers, most boxing legends are backing the Mexican superstar.
Easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
Manny Pacquiao, a man who knows all about moving through divisions, didn't hesitate with his pick: Canelo wins. Straight and simple. Evander Holyfield also weighed in, calling Canelo real basic but a good fighter, before stressing how tough it would be for Crawford to bridge the size gap. Basic or not, Holyfield made it clear, fundamentals plus power equal danger.
I see that Bud's gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
He has the best chin that I've ever seen.
And nothing moves his head.
Yeah, I've never. So I seen one time Triple G hit him, and he kind of like, and then he's right back on it.
Bro, that's the thing. Like, I know he's gonna be able to hit Canelo because I've seen Canelo in spar.
Then there's Ryan Garcia, who has actually sparred with Canelo. Garcia admits Crawford will land shots, maybe a lot of them, but insists they won't have the same impact, because Canelo is simply too strong and too accustomed to imposing himself on opponents.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. He's not getting rattled.
And then came Oscar de la Hoya, who went much further than most. He didn't just back Canelo, he called the fight laughable. In his view, Crawford moving up 2 weight classes is an impossible challenge. De La Hoya even pointed to Crawford's tough night against Israel Madrimov, arguing that if Bud struggled there, what chance does he have against a natural super middleweight like Canelo?
Weight classes for a reason, Bato. I know Crawford, he's a great guy. I know Canelo, he's a great guy too. I think he's gonna have Crawford's gonna have success early, but I just think it's gonna be too much. He's gonna be too heavy, and he's not used to those punches. So
Fernando Vargas echoed that same warning. He admitted Crawford might find some early success, but ultimately believes the size and power gap will break him down. As Vargas bluntly put it, weight classes exist for a reason. And then there's the legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., not only predicting a Canelo win but going as far as to say it'll come by knockout in the middle rounds.
Like Bud could beat him easy. How though? I feel like once he beat Canelo, that will be like one of the greatest resumes in boxing ever, just because of the fact that he's going up 2 divisions just to fight this guy.
Chavez believes the fight won't even make it to the scorecards. But just when it looked like everyone was backing Canelo, the tide began to turn. What seemed like a wave of opinion firmly in Canelo's favor shifted, as a surprising group of voices started siding with Terence, Bud, Crawford. And these weren't casual analysts, these were some of the sport's most respected names, including a few who know firsthand what it means to defy the odds.
I want Crawford to win, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I would like for that to happen, but this guy's a hard puncher. He's a smart fighter. He can move. I'm just curious. I just want to see it. I want to be there and see it. Because listen, there's been upsets like that before. Henry Armstrong, 124 pounds, he beat the 146-pound champ. So, you never know. Anything can happen when 2 men are in a ring or in a basketball court.
The biggest shock came from Mike Tyson. At first, Iron Mike admitted he couldn't see Crawford pulling it off, pointing to Canelo's strength and ring IQ. But as fight week approached, Tyson completely flipped his stance. Now he's saying flat out, Crawford by decision. That switch alone sent fans into a frenzy, because when a man like Tyson changes sides, it usually means he spotted something others may have overlooked.
Matchup is a fight that we all been wanting to see. Bud has the skills. He got the discipline, IQ to win, but Canelo has all that with the size. So I think it's a good fight. I'm happy that Bud got the fight. My dad was the one that told him that he should take the fight. Bud came out and said that my dad was the one that told him to fight Canelo a long time ago.
Then there's Devin Haney, the current face of American boxing at lightweight. His opinion carries weight not only because of his own skill, but because Crawford has personally inspired him. Haney praised Bud's discipline and fight IQ, saying, "If anybody can do it, Bud can." That's not blind loyalty, it's one technician recognizing another. And Claressa Shields, the self-proclaimed GWOAT and 2-time Olympic gold medalist, also stunned fans by throwing her support behind Crawford.
I feel like Canelo has he shows up when he wants to show up, but I think that Terence Crawford is a dog. I think that he's a great fighter. He has good defense, good offense. The weight class may be a little challenging, but I don't think it'll be the decision maker of the fight. I think that Terence Crawford is the better fighter, but I think that Canelo is
She admitted Canelo is a legend, but her words carried conviction. "I think Crawford is the better fighter." Shields has built her own career proving doubters wrong, so her pick adds real credibility to the Crawford camp. But perhaps the boldest voice came from Zab Judah. Never one to sugarcoat, Judah didn't just predict a win, he predicted a stoppage. He said outright that Crawford's skills, timing, and power would be enough to break through Canelo's defense and end the fight before the judges could even get involved.
Ain't going to back. Any nigga that switch southpaw, I fuck with them. You know that. Anybody that can fight that southpaw style, I fuck with them. You know that. I love a southpaw. They get clean, good work southpaw. Boy, going. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. So now, as we get closer to the fight, I'm banking on a late stoppage now.
That kind of prediction is as risky as it is electrifying, because a Crawford knockout would flip the boxing world upside down. And even beyond the boxing bubble, some high-profile voices are throwing their support behind Bud.
I'm not hesitating, Crawford. I'm not even hesitating.
Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo.
Stephen A. Smith, known for his fiery takes, backed Crawford to win on points. His reasoning was that Canelo has grown too reliant on single power shots instead of combinations, and a fighter like Crawford can exploit that with movement and precision.
Canelo versus Crawford. Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler.
I'm a giant Crawford fan because I called his coming out fight against Breidis Prescott.
And finally, there's Joe Rogan, who calls Crawford a once-in-a-generation talent. Rogan pointed out something many have quietly noticed: Canelo is beginning to slow down. He's still dangerous, but he no longer throws with the same volume or moves with the same sharpness he once did.
I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%. Absolutely right.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young.
Rogan believes Crawford's adaptability, his ability to switch stances and adjust strategies mid-fight, could be exactly what's needed to expose that decline. And if that wasn't enough, even more voices outside the ring have added fuel to the fire, leaving fans even more split. The deeper you look, the more complicated the debate gets. Because between the confident predictions for Canelo or Crawford, there's an entire group of fighters, analysts, and even celebrities stuck in the middle, refusing to commit or warning that this matchup is simply too close to call.
Who you guys got? Don't take the easy road out on me. Give me a prediction.
Listen. In our gym, Crawford sits right there, and Canelo sits right here. That's why you play the game. We're gonna find out. But I'll say this, and I love Crawford. Canelo's a bigger man. He ain't never been hit by a man like this, but Crawford's a great, great fighter. One of the greatest I've ever seen. I love Crawford. I try to be like him.
Take Denzel Washington, for example. Even Hollywood royalty is weighing in on this super fight. Denzel, who has trained in boxing for decades, said he couldn't bring himself to pick a side. He praised both fighters but admitted the obvious: Crawford has never been hit by someone with Canelo's kind of power. And while he stopped short of making a prediction, he pointed out that Canelo's size gives him a natural edge. Coming from a man who studies the sport seriously, that hesitation only adds to the suspense.
Canelo Alvarez is not, was not, and will not ever be an unbeatable fighter. That's fine. None of us are really unbeatable, right? But people got to understand this. Canelo Alvarez is not an unbeatable fighter. The question is, whoever he's fighting, we don't question what Canelo's going to do, right? We question what his opponents are going to do, right? It's not even really about Canelo. Canelo's going to show up as Canelo Alvarez, right?
There's Keith Thurman, a former world champion who shared the ring with some of boxing's best. Thurman offered a reminder that can get lost in the hype: Canelo Alvarez is not, was not, and will never be unbeatable. He acknowledged Canelo's greatness but suggested the Mexican star has lost some of his bite in recent years.
Maybe you can beat him, but are you going to do it? And are you going to do it now? You feel me? You know? Because I thought Danny Jacobs was going to have a way better performance.
Without that same explosiveness, Thurman argues, Canelo might be more vulnerable than many realize, especially against someone as sharp as Crawford.
A couple more days and y'all gonna see Canelo fighting Crawford. So I ain't got no comment on who gonna win a fight, you dig? If Crawford do what he's supposed to do, he got an option. If he don't beat Canelo. Simple as that, you know?
Jermall Charlo, who has been linked to a fight with Canelo himself, gave perhaps the most cautious take. He didn't outright say Crawford will win, but he left the door wide open. If Crawford does what he's supposed to do, he's got an option. If he don't beat Canelo. Simple as that. It's not exactly a prediction, but it's a clear sign Charlo sees a path for Bud. Meanwhile,
you talking about these big fights, you whispering. You talking, huh? You said Canelo and Crawford.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man. That's the biggest fight, you know what I mean, in boxing right now. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford stepping up. Man, it's so big, you got Muhammad over there saying something about it. That's how big it is. He came off the bench from the 60s, right, Muhammad? You go back in the 60s? Yeah, well, listen.
60 years of boxing.
Canelo, it's big. And shout out to Crawford stepping up. But Does Crawford have to be worried about more things than
Bill Haney, father and trainer of Devin Haney, stirred up a different kind of conversation. He raised concerns about possible doping in Canelo's camp, warning that Crawford might need to be wary of more than just punches. While he stopped short of making direct accusations, the reminder of past controversies surrounding Canelo added yet another wrinkle to the debate.
That's something that I really respect about Terence is I know that he's willing to go on a show to make it a great fight if need be. But I think, with his skill and his strength and his ability and, everything else he's got going for him, I think he's going to make it a great fight. And everything that Canelo's got going, and doing, I don't think it's going to be a snoozer like I said.
And finally, there's Caleb Plant, who's actually shared the ring with Canelo. Plant admitted the fight was too close to call, though he noted the betting odds would naturally favor Canelo because of the weight difference. Still, he reminded everyone that odds don't mean much once the bell rings. And as someone who's been in there with Canelo, his hesitation carries real weight. So with experts divided, legends split, and even celebrities refusing to choose a side, the real question becomes clear: who truly has the edge going into fight night? Step away from the cameras and press conferences, and the whispers inside boxing gyms tell their own story. And in this case, much of that inside talk leans strongly toward Canelo.
To be Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make 160.
For the latest updates on boxing news, moments, events, and action, make sure to subscribe to Boxing Hub and turn on notifications so you never miss quality content. And don't forget to check out our other videos. Until next time, peace.